Sometimes you feel your life is a mess. The day's too long when you're just feeling stressed. There's a cure out there and it's ready to go. Pull up a chair, toss away your cares. It's now time for the variety show.
Hey everyone, welcome to this weekend's episode of the Matthew and Ellie Variety Show. Now, rather than just having a random skit show thrown together, we are going to, or rather I am going to, show you how to make puppets. Well, actually I'm going to show you the way I make puppets. I use a selected few materials. Every one of my characters that you see on the show is made of either felt, faux fur, or fleece. Now, why I chose those materials? Well, the faux fur is basically for the animal characters like Allie, Barely, characters with fur, or a lot of hair, if there were something like that. With Nalts, I'm going to be using a light blue fleece. Why light blue? It was just the color I saw in my head when I decided I was going to make it. So now I've got all of my body pieces sketched out onto my fabric. I have 2 arms, 2 legs, and the body with the head attached. I'll cut out a smaller piece here to make it easier to manipulate through the sewing machine. It's easier than having to, move all of this around than anything. And that's another reason why you want to draw everything close together. Alright, now all the body pieces are now stitched. What we're going to do is turn all the pieces right side out now. All the pieces except for the body. And I'll show you why. But starting with the hands, they're the more complicated ones. And like I said, the fingers are really skinny. Hard to turn it right side out. Well, remember I shown you in the supplies to have 2 size dowels. Take the large dowel and be very gentle on this. You don't want to run a hole through your material or yourself. I generally use this end and push it into my chest or my gut because it's a good brace. The large dowel is going to be too big for the fingers. So after you get the hand all the way up to the little nubs there, take the small dowel and do basically the same thing with it, only be extremely, extremely gentle. Alright, I have my 2 legs with the feet and my 2 arms with the hands. They're ready to be stuffed. You don't have to stuff them if you don't want, but it does give a better 3-dimensional view if you do. What I usually use is scraps of what I cut the puppet out of. I make the characters have a grip. So they have their 4 fingers, but they also have a grip to them. What I do with that is I go out and buy 18 gauge wire and take 1 piece, use 1 piece per hand. Get my little needle nose pliers here. And I wrap the first end in so that no sharp pieces will stick out. And then I go up by how big the hands are. Now, I know how big I want to make it. When you first do this, you want to make sure that you give yourself plenty of space to work with it. Now, they don't have to fill out the entire finger, but you want them to be able to, at least go to the size of the finger, to the end of the finger, anyway. Alright, and now, like the legs, stuff them. So now, what we'll do is, the body, we're going to work on the mouth. Remember that line I drew here? Ignore it. What you're going to want to do now, take some scissors, and you can still use that as a guideline, but go from the outside and cut in to the mouth. Well, just a little over halfway. Just a little over halfway, because you want to have a place for the hand to be able to sit. Now, this will define the shape of the mouth. So you want to be very careful, make sure that you do it right, because you sometimes only get one shot at this. Widen it out as far as you want it to go. Take your marker and trace it. Now with the mouth here, he's still inside out, but he's talking, or he can move. Gets him in there. But the mouth isn't defined in shape. So, we're going to fix that. Get a piece of foam board. Cardboard works just as easily, but if you get it wet, it's going to melt. Foam board is more durable, and it'll last a lot longer. Now usually I have one piece that I'll just slit in the back and give it one, or make it a hinge. But I have smaller pieces of foam board here that you sometimes have to just deal with what you got. So get your hot glue gun. Now if you're a young kid, don't use the hot glue. Have mom or dad do it for you, because I don't want anyone getting hurt trying to make a puppet. And you can't say that I didn't warn you. But line your hot glue along the edge here. 2 strips ought to do it. If you run low on hot glue, always make sure you have spare sticks. But 2 little strips ought to do it. And lay your cloth. I use red because it's for the mouth. It's pretty much the only reason I use the red. Let it sit there and stick, and flip it to the other side, and do the same deal. Fold over the cloth, and you got your mouth in place. Now, it's not going to be the only way to do it, because what you need to do now is make a pocket. Now, I didn't show you how to do this yet, because I didn't think I was going to need one. But for this character, apparently, I do. So, you take your foam board, line it over the edge of your cloth, and you can trace the piece, or just cut it out. Whereas I'm not a very patient person, I'm just going to cut it out. Now give it a little edge around it, because you're going to want to make sure that your fingers can fit comfortably in the pocket. So you got your pocket here, you got a piece cut out. Take your cloth again, or your glue gun again, excuse me, and line the very outer edge with glue. You don't want to get any in the middle. If you do, then the pocket just becomes null and void, and it doesn't work. You don't want to stretch it too tight either. But this way, what's that? Oh. This way you get your fingers to fit in there. Now hot glue will, you don't always have to put a pocket on the bottom. for your thumb, but you can. And if you do it right, then your fingers will fit just fine inside the mouth here. Hot glue will cool off and dry really easily. Make sure you go all the way to the edge of the cloth. And remember, it's called hot glue for a reason. It will burn you if you're not careful. Sometimes it'll burn you even if you are. Alright, mouth is done. Now you want to turn your puppet character back inside out, so that you can glue the mouthpiece to it. Alright, so grab your hot glue and put it along the foam board area. Just squeeze it out along the edge. You can get a little bit of it in the middle, and it's preferable if you go along the inside just a little bit, so that everything sticks where it needs to stick. Start from the center, work your way over. You do want to be quick about this because the hot glue will cool off, especially at this time of year, really quickly. Alright, Kevin, ready for some eyes? Alright, so I did a little more than just the eyes. Obviously I did glue on the eyes. He's got little googly eyes on there. And he ended up getting a nose. The nose was not part of the original plan. It wasn't even in my head. I know I didn't draw a picture, so I had no design really to follow off of. But I wasn't going to give him a nose. Now he ended up having one. Sometimes you don't know exactly how it's going to turn out until it's done. I also gave him hair, and Nalts has black hair, so black or very dark brown. It always looks black to me in the videos. But I glued it on here, and I just took hot glue around the edge here. I didn't glue any in the center. And there's a pillow inside his head to give the head a little more form. And I I sewed the arms on, and the legs, and with the feet. Now, what we have here, he's still unfinished. He's naked. And since this is a family show, we need to make some clothes for him. Alright, so here he is. Here's Nalts. He's got pants, well, more like shorts, and he's got a shirt. The only thing he's missing is his baseball cap. But I think we can fix that up later. Now I also put little ports in the bottom of his arm here so that he can hold on to things, or so that he can be puppeteered. Now, he won't be going to Nalts with the wires, but they're not hard to find at any Home Depot or whatever. Just get some little wire that'll fit, and you can have him. So, wave the camera, Nalts.
Nalts, it's not his fault that he's a funny guy. Nalts, he somersaults and does the waltz, and no one asks him why. His name is Nalts, yeah.